Hey, for those who don't know me, I'm Gary. This channel is something I've been thinking about doing for a while now. But the current COVID-19 crisis has sort of, well, brought things to a new light that's just sort of made me sort of bring it up. So this first video might be a bit long, but hopefully in future it'll be a little bit shorter. And yeah, basically when I was 16 I was attacked. They now think that may have left me with some kind of brain damage, but at the time, it wasn't picked up and things like that. My personality changed, and as a result, I've suffered with quite bad depression ever since. I'm now 42. 7 years ago, I suffered a massive brain aneurysm. The type I've been told you generally don't come back from. I've done better than they ever said. I've learned to walk again. I managed to live alone pretty much independently. Generally I can't complain. My family were told if he wakes up, best you can expect is he's in a wheelchair the rest of. Needless to say though, that type of brain damage does have lasting effects, and generally, these are things that people like myself know about, and things I'll address in future videos, as I hope this will turn into something where I can help people. But the current COVID-19 crisis has brought some things about that I'd sort of like to highlight. I've been watching the daily press conferences from Downing Street, wondering what measures are going to be taken, and what measures for people like myself, which were mentioned for the first time today. Now, for a while now, they've been saying if you can, stay at home, isolate, blah blah blah. For people like myself, isolation itself brings its own problems. I absolutely need daily contact with people. Before I got ill, I was an avid online gamer. Anything from 8 to 16 hours a day, World of Warcraft, on our own speech server with my friends, and that filled my social need quite happy. Since coming out of hospital, I now do zero online gaming. It just nothing for me. It doesn't seem to fill that social need. And before too long, in my own company, I started to go stir crazy. So I'll admit, when they first said, "Yep, isolate," I was a little bit blasé, knowing that I was going to struggle. I was like, okay, they're shutting schools. For friends I know, friends that know me well, I said, if you know that you and the kids haven't been coughing, you've not been around. Oh, sorry, that was just dry throat. I've not got it, I hope. I said, send the kids to me, they can keep me company, things like that. I've had people saying, look, come stay with us for a few days, or things like that. And I've been saying, well, if I'm there and lockdown happens, then, your whole family's isolated as well. If you're not going to be fair on your kids, if you suddenly say to them, you can't go out and see people, you can't have your friends to visit, and, because I'm also in the extremely high risk group, because when they found the cause for my aneurysm, it turned out a very rare heart virus. And so now I've got a very damaged right lung. I can't actually sleep flat. I have to sleep on a pillow lift, so I'm partly propped up. So I have a lot of bad breathing problems because of that. And I've got a very damaged heart. Although I managed to save my heart, I have a mechanical valve, but the damage was done by the virus long before. So it's even with the replacement part, it's nowhere near as good as it originally was. So today the news came out that the NHS are going to be writing to the 1.5 million people most at risk. From what they said, I will be on that list. Sorry. And that for people like myself, they want us isolated for a minimum of 12 weeks. So at the moment I'm sort of stuck. Okay, I'm in the house on my own 24/7 for the next 3 months. There's me and the dog, and that's it. The thought of doing it for 7 to 14 days was frightening. I'm on day 6 now. I'm already going stir crazy. Because I'm always in the house a lot anyway, evenings are always very quiet and lonely for me. So, Amazon Prime, Netflix, I've watched just about everything I want to watch, and I'm starting to go through things again. I'm series linking stuff just to keep voices in the house. I live in quite a quiet area, but usually I still get sort of a few people walking past each day. The dog will run to the window, bark, and I'll hear voices and things like that. So, that's a big help. Just knowing there's people out, but at the minute that's slowed right down. So it really does feel like I'm completely cut off. So when they come out today saying that, they're aware of the mental health problems this is going to cause, not just in people without mental health problems, they might just have the physical problems like I have. I've got mobility issues, the bad lung, the bad heart, all which cause me problems, as well as the mental health issues. I mean, if I turn my head, you'll sort of see the scar. You might be able to see the scar where the brain surgery took place. So there's a lot going on. So, some news that they're going to be set up thinking like central hubs, because at least up to today, I've had the idea, it's uncommon for me to say, walked uptown to Sainsbury's, spend 20 minutes walking around just to buy a pint of milk, just to get me around people, just to get my exercise. Sorry, the dog is sent for you. Sorry, the dog's trying to... She knows when I'm not right and she tries to help. But obviously now I can't do that. I've been sort of using the hour that Sainsbury's have set aside for the elderly and disabled. But now I'm being told, I shouldn't even be going shopping. So it's... So the only people I'm going to be seeing, possibly for the next 3 months, might be my carers when they come in each day. They're here for sort of 30 minutes, just basically checking I'm okay, things like that. And so the idea that they are starting to they've actually said today they're putting provisions in place for mental health problems for both people with existing problems and those that are going to gain problems from the isolation. The idea of the central hubs, where they're going to make sure that, because they said, the essay at me, it's going to take a bit to set up, it's a new idea, I can accept that. That they're going to set up central hubs with sort of doorstep deliveries to make sure we get things like food, medicines, because I have an awful lot of medication. I mean, I meant to go for a blood test in the morning. I didn't go this week because of all the sort of chaos that's been going on and not quite knowing what to do, because where I live, the clinic is open for 1 hour a day for blood tests, and keeping the isolation up, I can't get to anywhere else, and it's always full, and obviously it's full. Half the people in there at least are those who were in the vulnerable category like myself. But, I need to go for that tomorrow to get my warfarin levels checked. So I'm not sure if I should now. So first thing in the morning I need to ring the pharmacy and say, right, I need my warfarin. How do I go about it? I've got enough to see me through towards the end of the week, but do I still go get my blood test? Does somebody come out to do it? And then, how do I go about actually getting the medicine? I understand that once these hubs are set up, it'll be delivered, but for the here and now, for the next sort of week or so, how's it going to work? It's scary and frightening. About if I go that way, about quarter of a mile is the perimeter fence of the American Air Force Base at Milden. About 6 miles is the edge of the perimeter fence for the American Air Base at Lakenheath. And yesterday there was confirmed cases of COVID-19 on both air bases. One of them, it's an airman infected, and on another one it's the dependent, so a wife or child of an airman. Now, it's a very close community where a lot of people live in the local community, work on the air bases, and the people who live on the bases, live and work on the bases, quite a lot of them live outside the base, and they regularly visit the local British shops. I'm in the local Pokemon group for Pokemon Go. It's one way I get my exercise, and we have a lot of US personnel that are part of that. So, I expect within the week we will have cases outside of the base in the local community. So knowing I am at such great risk, and on topped off with the problems the isolation is causing me, it is a problem. So so I'm going to be keeping a video log from now on, sort of how I'm doing day by day, and how things are pulling together. There will be another one short a bit later today, but otherwise it's only going to be one a day, because I sort of want to just say a few things separately, not about me but about the local community and the NHS and things, and how I'm sort of seeing people coming together. It's a good thing to see. So until then, please stay safe, and if you're like myself and you're struggling, you want to stick a comment on, and maybe we can sort of make something that sort of helps each other out as we're all stuck in this situation. Cheers.